Good evening, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World and I'm your host, Jargalma Tufshinjargal. On the News Mongolia today, a UN expert urges Mongolia to strengthen privacy law enforcement. Mongolia begins a 5-year national AI initiative. 13 minors have died due to the use of narcotics and psychotropic substances. For the news, stay tuned. United Nations expert has praised Mongolia's new law on personal data protection, calling it a positive step toward strengthening privacy rights. Anna Pryne-Nugreris, the UN Special Rapporteur on the right to privacy, visited Mongolia for 7 days. She notes that although political will is strong, greater public awareness and improved enforcement are still required. Her official report will be presented to the UN Human Rights Council in 2026. The UN Special Rapporteur on the right to privacy, who recently wrapped up a 7-day visit to Mongolia, says the country is making progress in protecting personal data. She commended the government's commitment to digital transformation, but noted that bridging the digital divide remains a key challenge, especially for vulnerable groups.
Mongolia has done a good work, a good job. It's got good regulations. Perhaps there are too many, but they are there. What Mongolia doesn't have is an adequate way of enforcing the regulations. I mean, even though the national mechanism of human rights has its competence related to what has to be with privacy and data protection, it can only do recommendations, but it can't get to do a sanction or a fine or two remedies. So these are things that have to be addressed. That does not mean that you don't have an adequate regime on data protection and privacy. I can see that you've been working a lot, but that means that there are lots of things to be done in what concerns to the general system of the country and also in what concerns to sectoral activities.
According to Dr. Nugreris, as a fundamental human right, public awareness about privacy needs to grow alongside technological development. She also stressed the importance of building stronger cybersecurity safeguards to respond to increasing threats.
I think from the point of the government, of course, you need to have regulations. You have regulations, but those regulations lack of certain points, which I spoke. That would be an autonomous and an independent data protection authority and what concerns to enforceability. But then if you want to speak from the point of view of the citizens, what is very important is awareness, is that they can know that the problem is, well, come on, why are you looking at social networks? Well, you can use social networks of the BBC, for example, no? Yeah. But they don't usually look at that. So we have to teach them. We have to make them aware if that they want to get to the real information, to the truth information, they can't look at anything that might have been posted by his neighbor who knows nothing of the topic. So you need to be aware and you need to help others to be aware.
During her visit, the Special Rapporteur examined how Mongolia handles personal data, including health data, surveillance, and privacy risks related to new technologies. She emphasized that innovation must be guided by a human rights-based approach, with individuals at the center of every technological advancement.
For example, in what concerns to artificial intelligence, I did a report, and in that moment I spoke about 2 principles that are the new principles on artificial intelligence. One is explainability and other is transparency. Explainability has to do with how the people have the right to know How did the system get to a conclusion that has to be with his or her person? Why? Because intelligence systems, artificial intelligence systems, they are based in information. So the person needs to know what information is the basis, who got to that conclusion. And then transparency. So that's the other way. Transparency in the procedures to get to a resolution by the means of artificial intelligence.
She met with government officials, civil society representatives, academics, business leaders, and UN staff in Ulaanbaatar and Nalek district. Her full report will be presented to the UN Human Rights Council in March 2026. The National AI Campaign has been launched by AI Academy Asia. The campaign aims to train 250 AI professionals across the country over the next 5 years. Mongolia has the potential to address pressing issues through artificial intelligence, but due to the country's vast territory, digital transformation has not been equally accessible. There is also a shortage of skilled professionals capable of fully harnessing the power of AI. That's why experts believe it's essential to train AI specialists and raise awareness nationwide.
Today, we're announcing a program to train 500 AI instructors in Mongolia. The challenges we currently face are, first, the lack of human resources, and second, the fact that the existing workforce often falls short when it comes to competing internationally. By adopting technology, especially artificial intelligence, we aim to enhance people's skills, address various social issues through AI, and simultaneously create opportunities for Mongolia to compete globally.
Everyone is engaged in AI nowadays. For few days earlier, we think that AI is something, we watch at a movie, at a theater, at a video, but now it's part of our realities nowadays, and it's why it's very important to embrace it and then to interiorize it in everything that we do, whatever is, transportation or going to a healthcare facility or in the education sector or water and sanitation or any protection response or mental health issue, AI becoming part of our life. We cannot ignore that. This is why this campaign is very important to build this awareness for engaging all the Mongolia in AI and also ensure that there's a capacity available at every level, either at national, local level, and even assume level, so that we can basically be apt to date and also get information, thinking, and also the result and impact we want to achieve more efficiently and effectively by using AI in everything that we do.
There is a high demand in the labor market for professionals who can effectively utilize AI. This highlights the growing value of improving understanding and knowledge in this field. With drug-related offenses nationwide surging by 55% compared to last year, there has been a sharp rise in drug use among Mongolian youth, which has been linked to the tragic deaths of 13 minors. Authorities warn of increasing peer pressure-driven drug use among teens, as well as growing trend of prescription drug abuse and cross-border trafficking. Drug-related offenses have increased by 55% nationwide compared to the same period last year. Repeat offenses by previously convicted individuals remain common. Investigations revealed that children as young as 13 have used narcotic and psychotropic substances. In some cases, children say they were pressured or threatened by peers to try drugs under the threat of social isolation. 69 minors have been held liable for drug-related crimes.
Doctors typically prescribe this medication through a standard prescription. However, children and youth are now abusing this drug in non-medical domestic settings to get high. The drug is intended for pain relief, while the prescribed dosage is 1 tablet per day. They are mixing 5 to 10 tablets with an injectable solution and injecting it directly into their veins. Improper injection techniques such as missing or obstructing a vein pose serious health risks.
A Mongolian citizen collaborating with a foreign national was arrested for illegally trafficking synthetic narcotics across the border. Authorities seized 510 grams of narcotics during the arrest and investigation.
4 Mongolian citizens were caught smuggling a large quantity of narcotics from Russia through the Altınoluk border checkpoint in Siling province. They were apprehended upon entering Ulaanbaatar. Of these 4 individuals, 3 have been placed under pre-trial detention, and 1 has been subjected to travel restrictions as a preventive measure.
There is a general lack of public awareness and understanding of drug abuse, and many do not know where to seek help. Law enforcement officials urge parents to pay closer attention to their teenage children and stress the need to improve public awareness to combat this growing issue. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The annual International Ulaanbaatar Marathon will take place on May 24th. Registration will be open through May 20th. Individuals and organizations wishing to participate can register online at ulaanbaatar.marathon.mn or through the HiPay mobile application. The race categories are the same as in previous years, ranging from 500 meters to 42 kilometers. Registration fees are 5,000 MNT for 1.5 kilometers, 10,000 MNT for 5 kilometers, 50,000 MNT for 10 kilometers, and 70,000 MNT for 21 kilometers, and finally 90,000 MNT for 42 kilometers. Runners registered for the 5-kilometer race can pick up their competition numbers from the Department of Physical Education and Sports. Participants registered for the 1.5, 10, 21, and 42-kilometer events will receive bib numbers from the State Committee of Physical Education and Sports. The Mongolian Special Olympic Committee will manage the 500 and 800-meter marathons. Professional runners from Kenya, Japan, Russia, and Germany will participate in the 2025 Ulaanbaatar Marathon, and minor adjustments have been made to the route. Last year, over 30,000 domestic and international runners competed in the Ulaanbaatar Marathon. Mongolia has been organizing the International Ulaanbaatar Marathon since 2014 to promote running among Mongolians and encourage Mongolian youth to promote their physical and mental health.
Here are the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.